At Manchester United, and he has just the 2 wins so far. Andre Onana is back in goal for this one, despite outside heroics away in the FA Cup last Sunday. A tweak in the back three. Lenny Yoro comes in to start alongside De Ligt and Martinez, with Harry Maguire dropping down to the bench. A change at wing-back as Diogo Diallo serves a 1-game ban, so expect Ahmad on the right with Mazraoui down the left, and that midfield pair there of Agate and Mainu has brought a sense of stability. Alejandro Garnacho comes in to play with Bruno Fernandes, the captain, as those 2 number 10s, with the attack led by Rasmus Højlund, who's not scored now for just over a month. Once again, no place in the squad for Marcus Rashford, whilst injuries keep out Mount, Lindelof, Shaw and Evans. As for Southampton, no real sense of improvement so far since Ivan Juric took charge. In goal, it's Aaron Ramsdale, in danger of going down from this division for a 3rd time in his career. They're captained by the Polish centre-back Jan Bednarek, who had a personal nightmare here 3 years ago, one of 2 players sent off in that 9-0 defeat. Japanese Yukinara Sugawara comes into play at right wing-back, with Walker Peters down the left-hand side. Whilst further forward, Mateus Fernandes is back after a 1-game ban and playing just behind Tyler Dibling, who will occupy the most advanced position. He scored 2 goals in the FA Cup match against Swansea last Sunday. Flynn Downs is back on the bench, so is Will Smallbone, whose last league outing came all the way back in October.
Moment on, United had a little bit the upper hand, and they won't believe somehow that they lost that game 3-1. They played so well for such a long period, were brave, but in a point where they probably needed to go for it a little bit more, they just kind of made changes, got a bit too defensive, and United got the upper hand. But they actually, for large parts, Southampton, you would have never known they were the last place team.
But it felt like, Rachel, that the equaliser was coming, but to then see 2 more conceded in the dying moments, I mean, what is that going to do to the morale of a side that's already bottom? Yeah,
it's going to be extremely difficult, but they had the opportunities to get that second, and ultimately, when you don't do that, at 1-0, you're always vulnerable. Even as a better team, you're always vulnerable the longer the game stays 1-0. And when you're at Man United, when you're bottom of the league, you start to make changes. Players know on the pitch, when you start to make changes that feel a little bit more defensive, I know certainly as a player, you know, when you see managers do that, you think, oh, no, we're on the front foot, I think we're all right.
Yeah.
There's something, it just changes something psychologically, and, you know, maybe that was just another difference that in the end went against them.
An incredible few days comes to an end then in the...
And you have the match ball, 3 goals and 3 points. What happened in that last 10 minutes?
In football you have to believe it. We believe until at the end. We are very happy to win this game because we were draw against Arsenal, Liverpool and Arsenal, so the confidence was there, and today we are very happy to win this game.
It's your first senior hat-trick. You signed a new contract. Is this one of the best weeks of your life?
Yeah, maybe one of the best weeks in my life. But like I say now, I'm very happy for this win because this team deserves to win this game. So I'm very happy.
You spoke there about having belief. Why do you feel it took until the last 10 minutes, until the equaliser, before the team were able to pick up the pace?
We know we have a quality player in this team. We need some time to be more hungry in the final third. And today we show at the end we were the best team in the pitch. And I'm so happy for the win today because this team deserves it.
You were a real bright spark throughout the match personally. Do you feel a responsibility to play that position, to take that responsibility in this team?
I'm ready to play every position. I'm ready to play right wing back, number 10, where the manager like to put me. I'm ready to fight for this club. So it never matter to play where I am. I'm so happy to play where the manager wanted me to play. So I'm so happy to score a hat-trick, and the most important thing is the win for the club.
Well, congratulations. You are the player of the match. Here's your award. Thank you. Thanks. Well done.
What a few days then for that young man. He signed a new deal only earlier in the week, and there he is now with the match ball, player of the match as well, unsurprisingly, with that first senior hat-trick. Brilliant, brilliant evening, but who saw that coming from Manchester United? And from Amad Diallo, who toiled for so much of that game against Southampton. He's receiving the raptures of the Manchester United faithful, and well-deserved in the end. I mean, he bailed them out. It's a bit of an understatement, Owen.
Big time. And he deserves his new deal because he's the one, you know, even you saw in that game against Manchester City, they didn't play great, but Amad showed up right at the end in the big moments. And, you know, he's only 22, but for such a young man, he has a feel for the big moments. I mean, imagine if they would have lost to Southampton today. 82 minutes, they were 1-0 down. And somehow he just grabbed the game. He got the ball and he just kept running at people, committing people. Okay, at times you get a little bit of good fortune, like he did with the little ricochet Walker-Peters, but he makes things happen. Man United fans are used to seeing wingers get on the ball and make things happen, and Amad does that. So credit to him. You know, he's smiling, he's scoring goals. He's just, you got to love watching him.
Yeah, and at 22, to show the composure that he did, you know, because everything was on the line, really, wasn't it, for Manchester United at that point?
A little more of it. That's the one we spoke about, the ricochet, but just because he comes in with to probably hit it hard and he keeps it low, Ramsdale tries as quickly as he can to make himself big in the team, and I think just the energy he has, bringing the fans involved, and those are the things we saw in the first half. You know, Højlund getting frustrated. You see other players, they throw the arms up, they get annoyed, they try and, shoot from distance when maybe there's a better option. I feel he's the one, although he's young, he feels like he does more things for the team, and that's why I think it's easy to be pleased for him to see him get the 3 goals.
I mean, you'd expect that to come from some of the more senior players, right? Not somebody who's the club is building the future around, essentially, right now.
But you could tell the way that his teammates were hugging him after he scored.
Yeah.
Do you know, they were like, thanks a lot. You know, you saved us a lot of grief.
Yeah.
And that's how they look up to him, even though he's probably one of the youngest out there. He's the guy that they get him the ball and he just runs at people. It wasn't good football, by the way. You know, they didn't play good football today. Southampton were probably equal, but they had a guy out there in Diallo who, he just makes things happen, and sometimes that's all you need, but they definitely need to play better than they did today.
The second goal was a slicker move, the 1-2 with Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, the second goal's a great move, but again, you see him, he gets the ball in a space where he can face up Walker-Peters, he walks it down the line, and you just see here Eriksen just... the weight of the pass from him in the first instance allows Eriksen to play it first time. He knows he then has...
ball and he runs forward, Manish. He runs into an area where he can affect the game. That's why Eriksen plays in the ball. That's a difficult finish. By the way, the young guy, he just gets it and he runs at you. And he puts defenders under pressure, and you've got to love that. I love just the fact he keeps running. He wants to make things happen. I know it sounds very simple, but it's important.
Yeah, Xerxes was involved in that first, Eriksen clearly in the second. Substitutes played a massive role in the end.
Yeah, well...
Overwhelming emotion that you've won a game that for a long time it looked like you might lose.
Yes, we had that feeling. We lost some chances. It was not a great game. We didn't do a great game, but I think after Liverpool and Arsenal, I felt the team a little bit tired. And always late, especially in the first half, and with a lot of problems between the lines. The speed of Suleiman was really hard to catch, and they create some chances also. But then we improved in the second half. They lost some strength because they were doing man-to-man during the pressure. Then we take control of the game, we create chances. You had a feeling that it's going to be hard, but in the end I think we deserve the win.
Were you surprised by Southampton, the fact that they deservedly led and might have scored more than the 1 goal they managed in the first half?
I was not surprised. I know that this coach puts a lot of intensity. His style is known in Italy. They were stronger in the duels in the first half, but like I said, then the second half they lose some power. And we took advantage of that, and I think the most important thing in this moment is to win, and we do it.
Amad Diallo has scored some big goals for you. A hat-trick tonight, his first in senior football. Just how impressive was he in that final 12 minutes?
Yeah, he did a great job. Even during the game, he has a lot to improve. He played in a different position today. Then in the second half, he took advantage of his ability, good assists from the players. The last goal was similar from Everton, the recovery. So he did a good job, but he has to prepare for the next game.
He's a young player, obviously, with a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and he said to us that he felt like somebody needed to step up. How admirable is it that a player of his age, of his stature, is able to contribute in the way that he did?
Yeah, all the players in this team have the same responsibility. He doesn't have to step up. That thing will appear if he do the work, if he train well. Good things going to happen. So he has the same responsibility of every player that play for Manchester United. But he's in a great moment. He's doing a very good season. But like I said, we see this in the past with a lot of players, young players in our